Here is the breaking news from Senator Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders has just shut down the moderates' complaints that $3.5 trillion of social spending needs to be cut. In fact, Bernie Sanders says that he's already negotiated on this problem. What this means for us is that Bernie Sanders is one of the few Democrats demanding more federal assistance be sent out to the American people.
Praise them, to thank them, and then say, but we don't want to spend money to have you keep your job. And then third, to put money in the pockets of the American people. It's about the lives.
Bernie Sanders is not interested in cutting the size of a $3.5 trillion spending plan. Now, some moderates, like Senator Kyrsten Sinema of Arizona, already say they're opposed to the package's sizable price tag. But Bernie Sanders says we actually need more. We actually need more spending. And we actually need the American people to receive more stimulus payments, everybody. And I believe that is a fact. More Americans should receive more stimulus payments. Bernie Sanders has already said that more spending needs to be done. Sanders did initially propose a $6 trillion budget plan in June and has now struck a deal with centrist Democrats.
The livelihood. Remember, we needed a pause. So he pushed the pause button. As you know, we have been mightily trying to find common ground with our colleagues. It's hard when you're
on a $3.5 trillion budget blueprint. In addition, according to several Democratic aides, Chuck Schumer's office warned Democrats to be ready to work late nights and weekends this month. And this is a sign that more stimulus payments could be on the rise. Our politicians are now coming back from their recess. And now this means they can get the job done and send out more stimulus checks. Should Congress even go on recess, folks? Tell me what you think in the comments below. In the coming weeks, Democrats will need to find a way to fund the government past September 30th, as well as address the debt ceiling. Senate Republicans have vowed that they will not vote to raise the debt ceiling and argue that Democrats can do so on their own, using reconciliation. But the White House and Democratic leadership.
My Republican colleagues, who, by the way, went to war in Iraq, went to war in Afghanistan, and forgot to pay for those wars,
are now pushing for a bipartisan solution, saying much of the debt was racked up under the former president. In addition, Democrats are racing to are now ready to finalize their $3.5 trillion social spending plan. Progressives had hoped that the social spending package would be ready by September 27th, and that is a date by Speaker Nancy Pelosi. And she has set for a vote on that date on the bipartisan infrastructure bill. But Democrats have acknowledged that the timeline is unlikely. So the Democrats are also now set to vote as soon as next week. More than 42 million Americans are about to get a significant boost when it comes to putting food on the table. A boost that will impact more than 700,000 families in Michigan. Beginning October 1st, 2021, the program, once known as food stamps, will be receiving the single largest increase in the program's 46-year history. Now, nearly 9 out of 10 people on SNAP benefits,
in what in many cases are meager and inadequate Social Security benefits. Do we listen to them? Do we stand up for and with the people who help build?
Are reportedly facing barriers to achieving a healthy diet. And the main hurdle is the cost of buying healthier foods. 1 in 8 Americans receive food assistance, but the amount is based off of decades of old data, and that's about to change. According to the USDA, beginning October 1st, the average person receiving monthly SNAP benefits will be getting an increase of around $36.24, and that's a total of a 21% increase. It will go from $121 a month to $157 a month. The USDA announced in mid-August that it has reevaluated the Thrifty Food Plan, which is used to calculate SNAP benefits. According to the department, the reevaluation was driven by the latest data in 4 areas, and that's current food prices, what Americans typically eat, nutrients in food items, and dietary guidance. Everybody, the decision for federal unemployment programs has come to an end, and this has affected 9.3 million people nationwide. And while there's still an uncertainty caused by the present crisis, many people are struggling to pay for rent and even achieve their basic necessities. There have been louder calls for Congress to come up to the rescue and help out our Americans. What's more, as the Labor Department reported just prior to the end of federal unemployment programs, the U.S. had experienced its slowest job growth in recent months. Now, some progressive Democrats, including Representatives Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Cori Bush, are trying to push through a new bill that would reinstate federal benefits and would include the backdated payments. This comes after the likes of Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and others had tried to propose legislation to extend the federal unemployment programs, but ultimately they were encouraged to stop their efforts. The picture is bleak if the predictions are anything to go off, as Goldman Sachs predicts that more than 700,000 households might be evicted this year, while the Washington Post report that senior officials in Joe Biden's government have warned him that the benefit cliff poses a serious danger to millions of Americans who remain out of work. However, there has been a push from federal government to shift the responsibility onto state governments, using the funds from the American Rescue Plan to do so. The issue is that many states have already decided that the funds from the $1 trillion stimulus package will go towards other areas. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. I truly appreciate everybody's amazing support. Now, if you guys have any more questions surrounding the fourth stimulus check, then be sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you so much, folks, for all of your support. And until next time, have a great day.
So recently, the Democrats are come out and talk about the reoccurring payments. The monthly payments are going out to everybody. This was a plan that was set up in the American Rescue Plan, and some of the Democrats are coming and talking about how the checks will be going out every month to about 40 million people out there. So this is the start of a universal basic income, I believe, or start of a reoccurring payment that will be going out probably every month for the next 4 or 5 years.
This is a great week, and my colleagues have been talking about service and our caucus. And the reality is that we make decisions that show who we care about and what we care about. And our vision as Democrats is very different from the Republicans, obviously.
Democrats, they want to spend a ton of money on a lot of social programs. Republicans want to spend a lot of money on national defense and military and things like that. So they both have different sides, but they both love to spend the money that the Treasury has for them to spend.
2017, they decided to give a $2 trillion tax cut to the wealthiest people and the largest corporations in America.
Well, $2,000 tax cut's not bad. I mean, if you got a tax cut of $2,000, it's pretty good, I think.
This week, starting Thursday, we will see the largest tax cut for working families to date and the largest effort to support low-income families to be lifted out of poverty that we have seen yet.
Well, that's good news. More tax cuts for everybody. Everybody can use that.
And we intend to do more, by the way. But July 15th, people will see in their bank accounts or a check in the mail money per child that will allow them to support their family, create opportunity, take care of them, and lift themselves out of poverty.
So that's $300 per child under the age of 6, and then $250 per child between the age of 6 and 17. And that's multiplied by how many children that you have. And that's what they're talking about with this monthly reoccurring payments going out.
If your child is under age 6, it will be $300 per month to the end of the year. If your child is 6 to age 17, it will be $250 per person. And all of this is up to a top $150,000 income for a couple. Bottom line, if you got the $1,400 stimulus check that we put in the American Rescue Plan,